Yes, we welcome Miss Sharon ma'am, and we have with us today Miss Sharon Thomas, who is working as academic supervisor in New Delhi. She is also two times awardee of prestigious fellowship of Indian Academy of Sciences. She has achieved academic excellence in Master of Science by receiving gold medal, P.K. Bhattacharya gold medal in MS University. She was also a bright star from Parul University. She worked as an assistant professor almost 2 years, and she was associated with so many activities with students as well as in elegantly in IQSC department also and in chemistry department PIS. So welcome, ma'am, and thank you for our invitation. So we will start the webinar. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Teet. I would take this opportunity to welcome all the students into this webinar. I would also like to thank the Principal and Dean of PIS, Trilok Sir, the Head of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Ajita Ma'am, the Director, Dr. Trivedi Sir, at the same time, the moderator for today, Dr. Teet, and all the chemistry faculties, teaching faculties, at the same time, all my close friends and acquaintances who are present in this webinar. So today the topic I have chosen for webinar is fellowship, the bridging gap between theory and practice. So I would like to start with the presentation now. We all can have a look at the presentation. So I hope I'm audible to all of you. If I'm not, someone can let me know. So the topic I've chosen for today's presentation is fellowship bridging the gap between theory and practice. Now, the very first question which comes to my audience mind, which I suppose are my students, is that why do we need to know about fellowship? What is the use of that? So as per the statistics on higher education by UGC, it was found out that in the latest study that 86% of the total population of students are graduating in science stream, out of which only 37% of them are doing their masters in science in the country. And just that the figure looks good to you, I have put 1%, but only 0.81% of them are continuing with research. Why this number? This has come up in front of us. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग सोच रहे होंगे मैम हम सब तो मास्टर्स कर रहे हैं, इतने सारे लोग हैं, 60 बच्चे एक क्लास में, हाउ इज दिस पॉसिबल? तो मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि आप जो टोटल पॉपुलेशन है हमारी कंट्री की, उसमें 37% में शायद 0.1% कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे होंगे. So the whole scenario is like this, but then we all are well aware also about the same that India is an exceptional member of global scientific elite. In 21st century, India is known as science and technology enriched superpower. From the very ancient discovery of zero to the recent orbiting of Mangalyaan, India has done pretty well in science. Since independence, the government of India had been working over different policies in order to accelerate the rate of discoveries, which is indeed pacing the faster sustainable and inclusive growth. But lot of policies have come up and lot of things have been happening. Now I'm going to show you the progress from where it all started. अभी ऐसा है कि मैं इंट्रोडक्शन दूंगी आपको, फेलोशिप वर्ड कहाँ से आया, फेलोशिप क्यों आया, वो जानने से पहले you will have to know little hard figures and little hard introduction. So bear with me, stay connected, because after that I'm going to talk about interesting fellowships with all of you. So this all things started from the science and technology innovation policies in India, which started back from 1958. The very first policy came as Scientific Policy Resolution, SPR. The simple goals were like in order to encourage the youth to take up science and also for the self-reliance by cultivating scientific research inside this. By 1983, the country was somewhat more dependent, now no longer was dependent over the imports for its food security, and we had changed our focus now to the traditional knowledge. Not even traditional knowledge, but also in order to save our environment. And that's when the 1983 policy came into being, which was Technology Policy Statement, TPS. Till that time, India and China were somewhat spending almost similar proportion, 0.6% of their GDP on R&D in 1996. But 4 years, like a decade later, 2 decades later, it was found out that China's expenditure on GDP was somewhat fourfold more, whereas India's expenditure remained largely static. And this was the time, I think so, the government of India came up with the 2003 policy, which was the turning point for R&D in the country. With the increased investment in R&D, greater outcomes were seen in R&D. Now, according to the Research and Development Statistics and Indicator 2019 and 20, it was found out that we had done very good, like good progress was coming out. By 1920 report, we found out that between 2008 and 18, the gross expenditure of R&D had tripled. The women's participation in R&D project had increased significantly. The number of researchers per million population had doubled in 2000. India was placed among top 3 countries in scientific population as per the NSF database. In the resident patent filing activity ranking, India was in the 9th position. Now you would say India is doing so great, right? Then why these numbers? So it was during all these times that the government of India, along with different departments, which is the Department of Science and Technology, DST and MHRD, was working out. They found out that despite these gains, India is not yet a major role play in the science. Its publications generate very few citations on an average than those science-focused countries like which were emerging, Brazil and China, and developed countries like USA. Relative to its size, the country size, India had very few scientists. Many Indian-born scientists would usually, not stay back here and go abroad, and only few would come from abroad and stay back in the country. The country was investing a second amount of portion for its economic science and technology, but it was producing very few patents per capita compared with other nations. So it was during this time that the Department of Science and Technology Development, DST, who is also responsible for the policy making in science and technology sector in India, along with the Department of Higher Education, MHRD, who is again looks after the higher education infrastructure by both in terms of planning and policy making, along with the private institute, came up with various initiatives for graduates and postgraduates. So they knew that apart from working over the higher era, like working over the we say doctorate or postdoctoral people, it was indeed necessary to put focus over the graduates and the postgraduate students, because they discovered that the alarming drop in the quality of students who were opting for science stream after their school level. The options also available for graduates and postgraduates were very limited and flexible. Like they were confined to the classroom itself. They were confined inside their books. Not anything options were there where they can go and explore out of their classroom. So these were a lot of things that were observed, and hence they came up with lot of initiatives. तो यहाँ पर शुरुआत होती है हमारे फेलोशिप टर्म की. मतलब फेलोशिप बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव्स हुए, बट उसमें से एक इनिशिएटिव था फेलोशिप देने का. अब लॉट ऑफ अस गेट कंफ्यूज्ड विद फेलोशिप एंड स्कॉलरशिप. थोड़े एक जैसे दिखते हैं, बट स्कॉलरशिप इज टोटली डिफरेंट. इट्स मोर ऑफ अ फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस फॉर योर स्टडीज, कि आप एक पढ़ाई को पूरी कर सके, इसीलिए गवर्नमेंट आपको स्कॉलरशिप देता है. जबकि फेलोशिप जो है वो आपके रिसर्च या फिर परस्यूट ऑफ स्टडी के लिए भी हो सकता है, पर वो एक इंडिविजुअल को एड की तरह मिलता है. वो शायद शॉर्ट टर्म भी हो सकता है या लॉन्ग टर्म भी हो सकता है. तो गवर्नमेंट ये एक टर्म को लेकर आए फेलोशिप्स, जो कि हम ग्रेजुएट्स और पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स को भी दे पाए, ताकि वो भी दूसरी जगह दूसरे सेंटर्स में जाकर अपने, अगर उनके पास कोई आइडिया है, उनको रिसर्च जानने का और रिसर्च के बारे में जानने का और आइडिया है, तो उनको एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए एक प्लेटफॉर्म को दे. नाउ जनरली वी हैव 3 टाइप्स ऑफ फेलोशिप विद अस. First one is graduate fellowship, the second one is medical fellowship, and the third one is postdoctoral fellowship. Today, as I have with me all the students of bachelor's and master's, so we are going to only talk about the graduate fellowship. Medical ones are for the physicians. After they have completed, they go for residency. That is where they get this fellowship. पोस्ट डॉक्टरल आप एक बार डॉक्टरेट कर लेते हैं, पीएचडी अपनी कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद अगर आप फिर से फर्दर स्टडीज करना चाहते हैं तो पोस्ट डॉक्टरल comes into being. Now, this was the starting of the fellowship. This is how the word fellowship came into being. Okay, as sir told that I am two-time awardee of a fellowship which is known as Summer Research Fellowship Program. And mainly I'll be focusing over that, but along with that, one more fellowship I'll discuss today with all of you. So the main objective of the presentation of this webinar will be that to make you understand the available opportunities around you, so that whatever you're studying, gaining from your teachers, whatever you're studying inside the classroom, you can put it out. You can go somewhere where there is resources, where they have all the objects with them. They can guide us, they can mentor you in better way to implement all your theoretical learning knowledge. As well as in the end of the this webinar, I would like to challenge each and every student to utilize their vacations, like summer vacations for 2 months, and avail such fellowships for a better career perspective. I would like to tell you in the end how it is going to help you in choosing your career at the same time also. So the very first fellowship is Summer Research Fellowship Program, SRFP. So this is run by Indian Academy of Sciences. So 3 national academies, science academies together are working over this, which is, first one is Indian Academy of Sciences Bangalore, Indian National Academy Science Academy New Delhi, and the National Academy of Sciences India Allahabad. Now, how did this start? This started by them looking at the condition of the science education in university level. They realized that without a proper base of science education, अगर हम कोशिश करेंगे कि हम एक्सीलेंस करेंगे सब चीज में, हम प्रमोट करेंगे, एक दिन सुबह उठेंगे और एवरीबडी इज लर्निंग साइंस, सब साइंस में एक्सेल कर रहे हैं, दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. दे न्यू दिस रियलिटी एंड दे वर कंसर्न्ड अबाउट इट. सो 1994 में panel was constituted along with then chairman Professor N. Mukunanda. He sat and they drafted a academy paper. They drafted a lot of things. उसमें से एक initiative था this summer research fellowship program. They knew that they had to provide some platform to the undergraduate and postgraduate students, and not just them, even to teachers to pursue their research ideas under efficient mentorship. Students and teachers from all the universities and colleges affiliated to UGC, AICTE, MCI, and aggregate institutes of state university can apply for this fellowship. Now I'm going to talk about this fellowship. ये क्या है, कैसे जा सकते हैं, क्यों है ये? This all you will know after this webinar is over. So this is a 2-month fellowship for students and teachers to work with scientists associated with academics. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about which all host institutions are there. अब ये academy जो है, वो एक medium है जो आप लोगों को place करेंगी बहुत सारे institutes के अंदर. अगर आप इस fellowship का part होते हो, तो you have to commit 56 days. So that equals to approx 2 months of your whole year. So it can be summer vacation or winter vacation accordingly, where you invest in this fellowship. So the host institutes are majorly the Indian Institute of Sciences, IISc Bangalore, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, which is one of the premier R&D organization in India. It has approx 38 national laboratories. So each state has its one state laboratory there, 39 outreach centers, and then more of national research laboratories. So majorly these institutes are the one which host you. तो इन institutes में resources हैं, वहाँ पे काम करने वाले scientist है, जिसके अंडर आप यहाँ पर 2 months का ये fellowship को करते हैं. Now why this fellowship? What does it do? आप लोग को एक जगह प्लेस कर दिया जाता है, पर उसका कुछ तो एम होगा. What is the reason why you are put there? What is the reason why you have to do this? I would give you a reason for that. So the major principle of this fellowship is to initiate in student a curiosity towards a career in research. So that is done by nurturing the scientific curiosity. जो भी साइंस स्टूडेंट है, सबसे पहले टीचर सिखाते हैं उन्हें पूछना क्यों. ऑलवेज आस्क योरसेल्फ व्हाई. if you're sitting in this webinar, you just ask yourself, why are you sitting in this webinar? Okay. So everything has a reason, and we are the ones who have to know about it. So this fellowship sometimes also instigates the questions of why inside you, why you need to do the fellowship by yourself. Okay, so it nurtures a scientific curiosity inside you. So whichever subject you are taking, it deepens your knowledge to a very greater level. For better integration of theoretical knowledge into practical work, third point is very important point. There will be a rigorous training. So I will be discussing my experience also with all of you. I'll be showing a slide of my experience in this fellowship. There will be a rigorous training by the scientists. You're working under renowned principal scientists who have given their approx, 30-40 years of their career into research, and you're going to get to work under them. It's a very great opportunity for learning. At the same time, you will have to inculcate a lot of habit inside you, and that is done by rigorous training. We don't get to sit in a chair and do a research paper reading for more than, I would say, 2 hours. But when I went for this intern fellowship, I understood that you will at least have to sit 8 hours in a chair, in a position in library, and look at the screen and learn. So those are trainings you get in this fellowship. Apart from this, also you get to deepen your knowledge. After these 2 months, once you are done with the fellowship, you gain a lot of knowledge. It's not just the knowledge which you have learned through theoretical, but also from whatever you see around, whatever you experience around. So this is something which this fellowship gives you. Now, I'm going to discuss the basic information about the fellowship. So some general information which one needs to follow while applying for this fellowship. So if one person is doing, okay, just give me a second. Okay, so if some general information I have to tell you. So the first thing will be, you will have to access it easily from the website. I have shown you 3 websites in front of you. The fellowship is available for 6 streams. I have shown you the 6 streams, which is life science, engineering science, chemical science, physical sciences, material science, mathematics. But inside these 3 streams, I will tell you there are n number of other topics inside this particular stream. I will give you an idea also about it. But if you are from chemistry, let us suppose, you have interest in analytical. There is analytical, there is oceanography, there is inorganic catalysis. There are a lot of numerous number of inside physical sciences. You not just have physics, you have for quantum mechanics, you have different range of topics inside this 6 streams which you can opt for. The applications are usually available starting from September and are available till November. So what you need to do is you have to open down the applications. It will be starting from around September, and it will be available till the November. So once November deadlines are there, it will get closed. Then you can submit your applications. And once the portal gets open, the applicant can fill the form, furnishing his or her personal detail, education qualifications, and other important information also at the same time. So these were the informations. Now I would like to talk about the eligibility also. But before that, let us see what all you need to submit in the inside your profile. So the first thing is the statement of purpose, for which you have to do a write-up stating the student's interest in research in a specific area with specific word limit of 150 to 200. So you will have to write down a small write-up in which you will have to tell about your statement of purpose. So it should be like why you are curious about doing it, why you want to do it, and things like that. So statement of purpose is one of the important part in this whole process. Through statement of purpose, you would actually give a glimpse of your interest to the presenter, so to the people who are taking down of your applications. So when you are choosing a topic and when you are writing the statement of purpose, it should match. It should not be two different thing going apart. Second thing will be the letter of recommendation. The applicant must provide the contact details of one of the professor of his or her department, not necessarily the head of the department. It can be anyone. But then the academy will be directly contacting them. It will not be contacting you for the recommendation, but it will be directly contacting the professor. So we have to make sure that it is directly going to them, and we tell all of our achievements and everything to them. So it's very confidential. It has been like 2 times I've been awarded, but then both the times I'm not aware like what was my LOR, what was given. Apart from this, the third thing you have to do is get ready to upload a lot of documents of yourself. You will have to do that. Apart with this, you have to wait patiently for the result. The results are announced generally by February. So you will have to wait down for yourself and wait patiently for the results to come. And once the results are informed, you can do likewise what you have to do. The next slide talks about the eligibility. Now, this is the main point. This is where I want to elaborate for the students कि आप लोग किस को कौन apply कर सकता है. So, जो bachelors, BSc and MSc वाले students हैं, BSc second years only can apply for this fellowship, and for MSc first years only can apply for this fellowship, because this fellowship. So these fellowships will be for BSc as well as for MSc. The other branches are also there. I have shown in this, but then generally it will be BSc second year and the MSc first years who will be able to take up this course. The rest people also can take up certain fellowships. I will show you ahead which fellowships you can take. But these are the general eligibility criteria. How do you get, after you get eligible, how do you get selected? It's actually confidential. We are not aware about it. But statement of purpose and your average marks do play a role, like your merit. If you stand out for your core subjects, in your up to your post graduation or up to your graduation, so it's mostly like a merit based. At the same time, the statement of purpose too. For teachers can also avail this fellowship. Teachers must be teaching in a college or a university, and applicants who have availed this fellowship twice before are not eligible to apply. If the teacher is applying for the fellowship and if they get through, then in that case they have to get no objection certificate also from their department or from their head, that if they are doing if they are proceeding ahead or if they are going with this fellowship, they will have to invest their 56 days into this particular fellowship. So at the last of this fellowship, so I hope you have a brief idea about this summer research fellowship program, which is given by Indian Academy of Sciences. The selected list is available by February, and the appointed guides actually contact the students, and the arrangement of accommodation and the starting dates for tenors everything is fixed. The government of India, like the Indian Academy, makes sure that they give us a stipend of rupees around 10,000 per month. It has been increased right now. During our time, it was 8,000 rupees per month. So this has been placed. You are getting to work with scientists at the center, anywhere in the India. At the same time, you are getting stipend. So all these things makes you want more to apply for this fellowship, which is a good thing. And now I would like to talk about my journey with Indian Academy of Sciences Fellowship. I worked, so the first time I applied was during my graduation in my second year in June 2015 to August 2015. This was my tenure, and I worked in National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, under the supervision of senior scientist Dr. Sibi Kurian, Department of Chemical Oceanography. It was a great experience for me, because the thing is, we have been working in the labs, and all of a sudden, when we are placed inside the institute, working with renowned and in a well-established setup, it's altogether a different experience. So I was situated in Delhi, and all of a sudden jumping to Goa in a very different scenario. In the beginning, I didn't get the guide which I was allotted, because every guide is supposed to have only two students under them. But then I got to be with more than one another guide, and I was streamed to there. So that was a good experience. Apart from that, the research topic I worked on was downcoat variation of major element sediments from Central Arabian Sea using ICP OES, which is inductively coupled plasma optical emission spectroscopy. I haven't written the full form because this is what I learned during my graduation, the instrument. But when I got to be there, I learned so much more. I was able to do with the instruments, starting from the milky water. I was not aware about what is milky water, what is hot plate for digestion. But when I went there, that was the time I was myself doing it. And it's not like you go in there for the fellowship and the very first thing is that you start doing it. It's not like that. You go in there, they give you certain things for reading. You have to allot some time for reading, and then only you start working over your topic. So that is the whole setup of the fellowship. Once you are done with your 8 weeks, you get to give up your details of the report to the academy. Thereby, they issue you a certificate. Not only that, the institute also gives you a certificate, leaving open a future career for you. Along with this, the final report is also published in the official page of SRF. So this is somewhat was a turning point for me out of the classroom. But then I didn't stop there. Once I was gaining my master's, during my master's also, I gave once more try in the fellowship, and I got into the Central Salt and Marine Chemical Research Institute, Bhavnagar. And there I worked under the supervision of principal scientist, Dr. Srinivasan Kannan, and I got to work on the research topic of base-free oxidation of biomass-derived 5-hydroxymethyl furfuryl. This is too hard for you to get in, but don't worry. Every place has different topics to work on. That is the best thing about this fellowship. You can pick what you want to do. You can pick which subject to choose. You can pick where to go ahead. So each institute has varied number of topics to work on. So when I went to Bhavnagar, I found out that different topics are working on. I was doing a master's, so I was specialized in inorganic chemistry. So I took up a topic of inorganic catalysis. Till the time when we write in the reaction in atmospheric oxygen atmosphere, I thought when we are thinking that particular scenario, we think there's a chamber, oxygen is there inside it, and we are carrying out the reaction, but it was not something like that. The starting material I was working with was very expensive. So we had to, measure each and every ounce of it I was using. I was carrying out the whole reaction in a test tube, in a mini test tube. And when I'm doing it, I have to insert, when I'm saying oxygen atmosphere, we are, injecting through the cylinder oxygen into a balloon, and that balloon we are keeping inside above the test tube. So all these things were happening, and I had a very good insight to what I was really studying and a clear picture of that and how I am doing. So these fellowships provide you a very good platform for what you imagine and what you do. So again, after the 2 months, I got certified and published for the second time. So with this, it was done, and I was sure that I won't be able to avail this fellowship anymore. But then from that day, I had decided that I would like the students, like whomever I meet, let it be my batchmates, my juniors, or wherever I go, to make them aware about this fellowship so that they can be also a part of it and can have a lot of advantage, and the purpose can be fulfilled for which this thing has come up. So this was all about the Summer Research Fellowship Program. Now, the next program, which I'm going to talk about, which is a short one again, this is just for you, for the students of master's final year, for you to have a better insight. That's why I'm going to talk about this. So this one is known as Prime Minister Research Fellow program. This scheme was designed for improving the quality of research in various higher educational institutes in country. The scheme is aimed actually for attracting the talent pool of the country to PhD programs for carrying out research in cutting edge science and technology domains with focus on national priorities. This was given out, announced in the budget 2018 and 19. And the institute which can offer actually the Prime Minister Research Fellowships are all IIT, IISERs, IISc, and top 25 central university. I would like to show you the host institute also. So these are the institutes where you can go for the fellowship and explore and see the research which is going on there. So there are two types of entry. First is the direct entry, and the second one is lateral entry. In the direct entry, we have bachelor's and master's program, and in the lateral entry we are enrolled in the PhD programs. So if you are enrolled in PhD, first year PhD or something, you can obviously go for this Prime Minister Research Fellowship. But today I'm just going to talk about the direct entry, because it's in all the students are in the last year of bachelor's and master's program. So eligibility again is if you are in the final year of your MSc, if either you are doing integrated or just MSc, MTech, like it should be the final year of your master's and you are looking forward to do research in your career ahead. So this is the good fellowship for you to give it a try and just go through it. I was also not well aware about it, but when I was part of Indian Academy of Sciences fellowship, some of the fellows came there with this fellowship, and that's how I came to know about it. So the list of host institutions in this are the following: IISc Bangalore, all IITs, IISERs, and now the central universities, the 25 central universities are this, inside which you can go and explore for yourself, have a look at it. Now, talking about how to apply and the selection process. So the eligibility starts like in the summer research fellowship program, you had submitted a SOP, statement of purpose. Here you are going to submit an abstract online in the Prime Minister Research Fellowship website, which are judged by the panel about your research and analytical capability of the applicants, the area of study and keen interest and insights on the subject chosen. And you will also showcase a problem of study which you want to carry out in this institute. So you should have in the back of mind, so they expect from you, you are done with 5 years of your, 3 years of your bachelor's and 2 years of your master's. So good amount of knowledge is there inside your head. Now you have to come up with a problem of the study which can be put up and which can be carried out in this host institutes. So these are the things which are there. Apart from this, there is a selection process also, which is rigorous 2-step. Now you don't have to give an interview, but then the screening of your abstract is done by the reviewers and the final selection is done by the selection committee. This particular fellowships, Prime Minister Research Fellowship, is given out at a fellowship of 70 to 80,000 per year. But then it depends how many years you can avail it, depending on which starter you are in and where to go ahead with. So these were the few fellowships I wanted to talk about. These are the two main fellowships which I wanted to talk about, and this would have given you a very good idea about how thing happens in fellowship and to which level they can work over. And when I had this experience, I would say I had a zero information about the thing. But then once you engross yourself into fellowship, you come to know about various fellowships which are there around you. It's not just these two. the government of India are working so much more, pushing themselves into the R&D, that they have come in, including the private institutions, they have come up with lot of fellowships, different type of fellowships in science stream. Like Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Scientific Research has their own summer fellowships. Tata Innovation has their own fellowship. So likewise in science streams, not just I'm talking about chemistry, physics, bioscience, life science, but I'm talking about mathematics, let it be physical science. There are n number of fellowships which are there, and I would like to give direction to all the students who are present today to come up with, to read about more about fellowships, to think about research, and to think about how we can do our best to increase the number of the people who are there doing in research in the country, because that's how we can contribute to the development, to the economy, to the financial support of the country to a greater extent. So I would take this moment to challenge each of the students into this part, that apart from these two fellowships which are there, you can of course avail a lot of fellowships which are out there. If you think you are eligible for these two, you should totally give it a try. But then if you think that you can avail more fellowships, you should totally go for it. Okay, I think so. It must be a time because I am given 1 hour only. So thank you for your precious time. If we have question and answer now, so we will go ahead with that. And I would give this time to the moderator so that he can take this time.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. There is one question from students. What are the benefits of fellowship once it's over? And do you get any assistance or any help from the academy also?
Okay, so that's a very good question. Like once the fellowships are done, it's not like you just go there for 2 months and once the fellowship is done, nobody will ask about you or nobody will surf about you. But it's like once you are out of the institute and it's done, first thing is your one career option has opened up. So in whichever institute you have done your fellowship, you will always have a way open there. If you want to take further career there, you can always go back there and always ask your guides if there is any opening in the project. You can always avail that. Second thing is, from the academy, you always keep getting journals, which they give you as a token of appreciation that you have been part of the fellowship, and they keep you updated with all the news which is happening around in the world of science. The third thing is, they also check over you. So if you have any doubts, like which subject to take up, where to get the guidance for the career, this institute, the academy, always check over you. So these are few points which I thought is like a plus point once you are part of this academy and this fellowship. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving detail over it. And second one question is, are there more any fellowships in science and technology, whichever that described by you?
So, like I said, there are n numbers of fellowships which you can take up, and it can be by the Jawaharlal Nehru Center of Scientific, it can be Tata Innovation. There are n number in the science. For mathematics also, Ramanujan College is providing. But if you are thinking about taking a fellowship in social sector also, like you have tinge that I'm scared to go in research, but then if it's education, so I would want to go on the field and do research over that. There are numerous number of fellowships for social sector as well, like Teach for India, Young India Fellowship, Ashoka University is providing a lot of fellowships. So there are n number of fellowships, and one needs to sit down and do research over it. This is what I feel. Like it can't be I can't tell about all the fellowship within 1 hour, like 40 minutes. I can't speak about all the fellowships, but I would, request all the students to sit and read through more fellowships, and whatever interests them, just go ahead with that. Yes, sir.
Madam, a very nice presentation. And as the Parul University is flourishing with more and more research day by day, so this entire presentation and entire information is very informative, assertive to each students which are in final year, as well as the whole students who are going to higher study. So this is very good webinar given by you, and we need more and more motivational talk about research from you. So be in touch regularly. So we will call you at least twice a month or 6 months. So our students, and this is also beneficial to professors also to get more knowledge about it. So, ma'am, thank you very much for getting getting ready about the invitation, and sorry if any inconvenience found from us. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a great time. I could also get to prepare a lot of things and increase my knowledge. And I hope that it is going to be beneficial for the students, because that is the only urge of all the teachers, like I know in Parallel University, who are working and everywhere all over the world, that each student should contribute to the development of the country, and let it be through research or through knowledge in whatever platform we can. So this is also my urge. Thank you once again, Dr. Teeth, for this opportunity, to the Parul University, to the whole group of webinar series who are working behind the camera, working hard day and night, to the head of the department again, and to the dean and principal of PIS. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now there is no any questions, and thanks a lot for coming and again accepting our invitation and taking your time to us. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay.